Yep, wait a second. Thanks, video. Right?
Matt.
What's a carpenter?
Correct.
Air 1000.
Only the B in the middle of this airline's colorful name is capitalized in its logo. Matt.
What's JetBlue?
Yes.
Acronyms 1000.
When talking about dates, BCE stands for this. Christopher.
What is before Common Era?
That's right.
Movie time for 1000.
This legendary Italian composer was 87 when he finally won his first competitive Oscar for The Hateful Eight. Christopher.
Who is Sergio Leone?
No.
You're being challenged. Right. All right, because Rabbi's up here causing trouble. This maybe will get him focused. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Rabbi Kalman. Happy birthday to you. I picked a bad key and then I went, room, I won't shut up to you. I have the microphone, so zip around the room, skip. Oh, it's not going to happen. Room, we could skip together. I'm tethered. Shabbat Shalom, soon to be Shavua Tov. Glad you're here on this windy evening. At least the rain had stopped when I came in, but hopefully we'll make some nice warmth and music together. So we'll begin with Havdalah as we say goodbye to this Shabbat and enter our new week together. Lai, lai, la, 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 la. We'll begin our blessings in a moment. If you would reach and make sure your phones are off or on mute. I'm turning mine off as well, putting my clock on so I know what time it is. In a moment, we'll begin with our blessing for the wine. A story is told of a small community where a great joyous event was to happen. the son of the rabbi was to marry one of the wisest, most compassionate young women in the neighborhood. Why? Who's getting married? Oh, the son of the rabbi is getting married in our story.
That would solve
Not
a few
today.
problems. It would solve a few problems right now.
All right, good. We can move that along. And in preparation for this great wedding that the town was going to be so excited about, the mayor decided that the party, the celebration after the chuppah would be the best party that the town had ever seen, a way to uplift everyone's spirits. And so the mayor stood up in front of everybody a few weeks before the wedding and said, in preparation, we want to have the best party we can. So I'm going to build a huge barrel in the middle of this town. And over the next few weeks, as we prepare for this wedding, I want you all to bring the best wine that you have in your cellars, so that when the day of the wedding comes, we'll have a great party. And he builds this beautiful barrel in the middle of town, and everyone comes around to watch while the contractors come and build it. And every few days, you see people from the town coming with buckets, and they climb up the ladder in the top, and they pour it in, and they leave again, and more people come with buckets, climb up. People are getting more and more excited. The barrel's starting to expand a little bit. The day of the wedding comes. This wonderful son of the rabbi who will soon lead the community, and this wonderful young woman who is wise and compassionate and generous. And they stand under the chuppah, and they go through the ceremony, and stomp on the glass, Mazal Tov, everyone cries and rushes to the center of town for this great celebration. And they're all gathered around, and Mayor's so proud and excited about this big party they're gonna have. And he climbs halfway up in his ladder, and he takes a little spigot up against the barrel, and he goes, and he knocks it in, and makes a big show of a big cup, and puts it under, and opens it up, and water. Water. Everyone looks at each other and says, I thought it was just me. I thought I was the only one. Everyone's whispering, oh, I thought. Everybody thought, with everyone else bringing wine, I'll just bring water. And then I don't have to lose any of my wine. Everyone assumed that someone else would give their best. But they didn't have to, and what was supposed to be this joyous event actually became one of the saddest days for the community. We always bring our very best wine, our best words, our best generosity. We don't wait for someone else. They'll bring their best, and I'll just, maybe another day. Imagine if everyone always brought their very best wine. So we join in our blessing for the wine. Or I brought the best wine. This is a good vintage. You'll take the sip, not me. All right. Do we have? I think the wine is there somewhere. A blessing. Do you have a remote? Oh, do you have the blessings there? Yeah, all the blessings are there. So we will have the blessings, and they will appear. We'll sing. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la la. Ya la la la. המבדיל בין קודש לחול, חטאותינו הוא ימחול. זרענו וכספנו ירבה כחול, והכוכבים בלילה. שבוע טוב, 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 שבוע טוב. A good week, a week of peace, may goodness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace, may gladness reign and joy increase. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimhema v'yameinu, Yavo Eleinu, Im Mashiach ben David, Im Mashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi. Shavua tov.
Over the course of the last months, Cantor Will has been doing many things to help our congregation, not just preparing for this Shabbat and this weekend. She has been working with the three congregants you see behind her, as well as with Susan Blackman, who couldn't be here this evening, to help them help us to be able to lead our services and to help them gain a repertoire of Jewish music. And so we are especially thrilled that the three of them have agreed to join tonight and sing with us and lead us. So Saul Strassman and Natalie Semetsky and Ben Wecht, we are thrilled to have all three of you here. Cantor Will, we are thrilled for all that you have done. Thank you. Sing, lead us.
Thank you. Happy to do it. Saul.
Hey there. So it's been a real great pleasure to work with Rosalie and with Natalie and Ben and with Susan. And so we're going to start by welcoming everybody here with Hine Matov. I think you know this one, but if not, we'll figure it out real fast, right? Hine Matov ubenayim shevet achim gam yachad. 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 How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. Hine matov umenayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umenayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. One more time, everybody. Hine matov umenayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umenayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad.
joy. Thank you. All right, friends, come on up. And for all of our friends watching on YouTube or on Zoom, we're glad you're with us. You might not be able to see the lyric that we're sharing tonight, but we encourage you to sing along from wherever you are in joining us. One of the challenges, of course, during the pandemic, but the beauty of both being here on site and having our community online is that we're often reaching towards each other in different ways. And there are actually so many wonderful opportunities with people who maybe can't be here, who've moved away, who aren't able to come because they're sick, who can engage with us by being online, and then those of us on site. So we're often reaching one to the other. So this next song, I'll invite you to sing along, and it's about the sense of sometimes we feel very isolated. We're in one place and someone else seems far away. But what we hope to do is just call to the other, to create an invitation to the other. We'll take the lyric. It goes like this. We all live on our own mountain so high. Try that with me. We all live on our own mountain so high. Sing that again. We all live on our own mountain nice, so high. Next part goes like this. From my mountain to your mountain to my mountain so high. From my mountain to your mountain to my mountain so high. One more time. From my mountain to your mountain to my mountain so high. Last part, I'm calling you. 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 We all live. We all live on our own mountain. Our own mountain so high. Sound good. We all live on our own mountain so high. From my mountain to your mountain to my mountain so high. From my mountain to your mountain to my mountain so high. I'm calling you. I'm calling you. I'm calling my mountain to your. I'm calling my mountain so high. I'm calling. We all live on our own. I'm calling our mountain so high. I'm calling you. Beautiful singing, and thank you to my wonderful bandmates up here. One of the pieces that I've loved for many, many years, maybe you do as well, became popular through many recording artists and in many very public venues, but was actually written by a woman named Julie Gold, who grew up at Eisner Camp, our reform movement camp in the Northeast. And it's From a Distance. And again, we have lots of people we might have heard sing it in the past, but it was written by Julie Gold. And I think it speaks particularly to this moment of feeling this sense of connection to everything, to all of divinity. And even when we see such terrible things happening in the world, and we want to do our part. This reminder that there is so much potential, that if we were to look at our planet from so far away, it's rather beautiful and miraculous. And maybe if we remembered that more, we would work a little harder to make sure it stays that way. From a distance, the world looks blue and green, and the snow-capped mountains white. From a distance, the ocean meets the stream, and the eagle takes to flight. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the voice of hope, it's the voice of peace, it's the voice of everyone. From a distance, we all have enough, and no one is in need. There are no bombs, no guns, no diseases, no hungry mouths to feed. From a distance, we are instruments marching in a common band, playing songs of hope, playing songs of peace, playing songs of everyone. God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from a distance. From a distance, you look like my friend, even though we are at war. From a distance, I can't comprehend what all this war is for. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the hope of hopes, it's the love of loves, it's the heart of everyone. It's the hope of hopes, it's the love of loves, it's the heart of everyone. God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from a distance. God is watching us from a distance. Julie Gold. Thank you. That's a beautiful tune. Ready for some? Here we go. So we can put the title up, Rabbi, but wait on the lyric. Pete Seeger is sort of the song leader's song leader. All of those of us who became song leaders stood on Pete's shoulders. Debbie Friedman, who was one of my teachers and dear friends, I know very important here to the community. She and I worked together for many years at Havana Shira. And her music, and so much is based on Pete Seeger, Woody Guthrie, and the work of really engaging people in community. And the other beautiful thing that Pete Seeger did, besides all of those Carnegie concerts and the children's programs that many of us grew up with, was really expanded people's understanding of diversity, of different cultures, of different musical styles, of different languages. And I think brought to a generation the sense of how beautiful our community is when it's so full. So this is Letter to Eve, and we're going to sing in a minute about peace. But I'm going to see what languages we know here, and then we'll make sure we can sing it all together. So obviously, and actually in this original version, he didn't use shalom. Doug Mishkin later added shalom, but obviously we know from shalom. Latin. Who remembers the Latin for peace? Pax, Pacem, good. In this case, we're going to sing Pacem in Terris in a moment. Russian? Say yeah. Mir, good. Who said that? Beautiful. Mir, excellent. Hindi? Shanti. Arabic? Beautiful. And Japanese, anyone know? Heiwa. So you're going to sing this with me when it comes around. Wait 1 second, I'll tell you when. And we're going to make sure we all know it first. Shalom, Pacem in Terris, Mir Shante Salam Heiwa. Try that with me. Shalom, Pacem in Terris, Mir Shante Salam Heiwa. One more time. Shalom, Pacem in Terris, Mir Shante Salam Heiwa. Oh, Eve, where is Shatton the fighter? Now, we're not gonna start again. Oh, Eve, where is Adam? Now you're kicked out of the garden. Eve, where is Adam? Now you're kicked out of the garden. Been wandering from shore to shore. Now you find there's no more. Shalom, Pacem in Terris, Mir Shante Salam Heiwa. Don't you wish love, only love, could save this world from disaster? If love, only love, could save this world from disaster. Don't you wish love could end the confusion? Or is it just one more illusion? Shalom, Pacem in Terris, Mir Shante Salam Heiwa. Well, if you wanna have great love, you've got to have great anger. If you wanna have great love, you've got to have great anger. When I see innocent folks shot down, just wanna shake my head and frown and sing Shalom, Pacem in Terris, Mir Shante Salam Heiwa. But if you wanna hit that target square, you'd better not have blind anger. 'Cause if you wanna hit that target square, you better not have blind anger. Or else it'll just be one more time. The correction creates another crime. Shalom, Pacem in Terris, Mir Shante Salam Heiwa. Well, if music could only bring peace, I'd only be a musician. If music could only bring peace, I'd only be a musician. If songs could do more than dull this pain, if melodies could break these chains, Shalom, Pacem in Terris, Mir Shante Salam Heiwa. Oh, Eve, Eve, go tell Adam we've got to build a new garden. Eve, go tell Adam we've got to build a new garden. We've got to get a working on a building, a decent home for all God's children. Shalom, Pacem in Terris, Mir Shante Salam Heiwa. Oh, Eve, you tell Adam next time he asks you. Eve, tell Adam asks you, he'll say, baby, it's cold outside. What's the password to come inside? And you'll say, Shalom, Hachem in Teres, Mir Shante Salam, Hey Wa. Oh, Shalom, Hachem in Teres, Mir Shante Salam, Hey Wa. 4,000 languages in this world means the same thing to every boy and girl. Shalom, Hachem in Teres, Mir Shante Salam, Hey Wa. Thank you, Ben. There's many of you must know that there's a crew race in Boston that meets regularly, the regatta, the Charles River, the head of the Charles Regatta, it's called. And one day a local rabbi went to the regatta to watch the race. My eldest daughter rode crew for many years, and I went to Penn, so I love to watch these races at the regatta. A rabbi went to the regatta, and he was watching, and he was delighted to see one year that Yeshiva University had a team. He said, "Whoa, that's pretty neat." And he watched the race on the first day, and Yeshiva University came in last. Okay, well, the next day, he loves to watch. He went and watched all the boats at this regatta, and again, Yeshiva University came in last. Day 3, again, comes in last. So the rabbi decides to go and talk to the team, and so he goes down to where they're gathered on the Charles River and says, I hate to say I was so excited to see you here, but maybe you should go spend some time with like the Yale team or the Harvard team. They always do so well. And see what's going on. And he goes on his way. A few months later, the rabbi is walking through Boston, and he runs into the head of the Yeshiva University crew team, who was there visiting a friend. And the head of the team comes up to the rabbi and says, "Oh, Rabbi, I'm so glad to see you. I was really glad you sent me to go find the Yale and the Harvard teams. They have a completely different strategy." And the rabbi says, "What's that?" And the head of the team says, "They have 6 guys who row and only 1 who shouts." I can't get a little more than that. Oh, there you go. Thank you. I love that story, particularly when it's about how we all can just work together by maybe shouting less, digging our oars in a little more. Susan couldn't be with us this evening. She had hoped to be. She isn't feeling well and was planning to lead Miriam's song with all of us. So Susan, if you're watching, we're going to sing this with you and for you and wish you a refuah shlema. So join with us, and Susan will have a chance, I'm sure, to lead it with us another time. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance all night long. Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. With every thread and every strand she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit, she dances towards the light. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced all night long. And Miriam stood upon the shores and gazed across the sea. The wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Command the women dance and dance the whole night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice in song, she sang with praise and might. We've just lived through a miracle, we're going to dance tonight. And Another wonderful Debbie melody. I know that she has a long history in this community, her music, and when she was alive, able to be with you at times. One of the last things that she wrote was this beautiful text. Actually it appears in our morning liturgy as well as a few other places. This idea that even when we have pain and tragedy, there's always capacity for joy, that any amount of space that we have to feel pain, and sometimes it's immense, and sometimes it's overpowering. Sometimes we can't lift ourselves up. Whatever that amount is, we have the same amount of capacity for joy. And I think we often get filled up with pain and sadness, and there is plenty for us as individuals, as a community, as a world. But imagine if for all that pain, we had equal amounts of joy. And it's hard. Doesn't mean we just move on and forget it. But when we can, remember that intensity of feeling, we can feel great joy. And this piece, I think, expresses that. You'll come home in case you're inspired to. You turn my morning into dancing, so that my soul might sing to you, so that my soul sing to you, and did not be still. You turn my morning into dancing, so that my soul might sing to you, so that my soul sing to you, and did not be still. Oh God, my God, forever I will thank you. Oh God, my God, forever I will thank you. Oh Deca. Now I sing praises to the Holy One, who lifts me up when I have fallen. And I cry to you to heal me, and you have answered all my prayers. Now I sing praises. Now I sing praises to the Holy One, who lifts me up when I have fallen. And I cry to you to heal me, and you have answered all my prayers. Hear me, Adonai. I have called to you to help me, and you've supported me with joy. I ask that you be gracious and hear me, Adonai. I have called to you to help me. You've supported me with joy. Turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And another Debbie Friedman melody is coming our way. With Ben.
After doing the Leonard Cohen version of this, you might say religiously for a few years now, I had the wise idea of trying a new version, and it's a little trickier. But with any luck, I'll get through it with minimal errors. Are we mic check? Check. Okay. Hallelujah, 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 berkia uzo, hallelujah, bevorota, hallelujah, kerov kulo, hallelujah, hallelujah. Take a shofar, hallelujah, never chino, hallelujah, tofu macho, hallelujah, bemeaning vuga, hallelujah, hallelujah. Zilzale Shama, Hallelujah, Zilzale Chua, Kolan Shema Te Hallelujah, Kolan Shema Te Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah.
Thank you, Ben. Beautiful. Hi, Mama. Hi, Mama. We can just have the title of the next one and just leave it there. If this is my last song, if this is my final day, if tomorrow I'll be gone, what do I want to say? If this is my last song, if it's my time to go, when my body's moved on, what will I have to show? No, not fortune and fame, they scatter to the wind. The things that make a name just don't matter in the end. Is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and skies a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. If these are my last words for all of the earth to hear, if all that I have ever been is about to disappear, if these are my last words, there's nothing that I need to say. I have only tried to serve. It's never been about talking anyway. So much hurt there is to heal. It's hard to understand. All I can hope to feel is that I'm doing what I can. Have I given hope to the hopeless? Has a hungry soul been fed? Has a child been a little bit taller 'cause of something that I said? Have I left a little bit kindness? Have I eased a little pain? If so, then I'm glad I came. For that, I'm so glad I came. Is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and skies a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. If this is my last song, what do I leave behind? What do I pass on if I am out of time? Thank you. Daniel Nahmad writes beautiful, beautiful things. There was a man whose job in the world was to carry water. And every day he'd get up and he'd put a big pole across his neck and put a bucket on either end of the pole. And he was a water carrier like his father before him and his father before him. And so every day he'd get up and put a pole across his neck and hang a bucket of water on either end. And he would walk to the stream where he'd collect the water into one bucket and the other and walk back to the village. So this particular morning, the water carrier got up, put the pole across his neck, took the 2 empty buckets and walked down to the river. And he took one bucket and filled it with water, put it on the end, took the other bucket, filled it with water, put it on the other end, put it back on his neck and began to walk back. But along the way, one of the buckets noticed that he was leaking. He looked over the side and noticed that it wasn't as full as when they had started back from the stream, that we had a little crack and there was water dripping. And he wasn't sure what to do. And he looked over at the bucket on the other end, and she was full to the top and didn't lose a drop. The bucket with the crack said, "Are you hanging on to all your water?" She said, "Yes, every drop. I am perfect, and I haven't spilled a drop." The cracked bucket was a little discouraged, but they got back to the village, and the water carrier emptied the buckets, gave the water to where it needed to be, went home. The next day, the water carrier got up, put the pole across his neck, took the 2 empty buckets, walked down to the stream, took one bucket, filled it up, the other bucket filled it up, hung it to both ends of the pole, and started to walk back to the village. And again, the bucket with the crack noticed that he's starting to lose water. He peers over and looks at the full bucket. She's very proud. She's noticed, of course, that this other bucket has a crack, and she's full and perfect, hasn't lost a drop. So the bucket with the crack says, "Water carrier, excuse me, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm cracked. Every day you come down to the stream just like your father before him and his father before him, but I'm not bringing back all the water to the village. I failed. I'm not doing my job. The water carrier says nothing. Next day, puts the pole across his neck, takes the 2 empty buckets down to the stream, fills one bucket, fills the other bucket, puts them on either end of the pole, and goes back up to town. And again, the bucket is losing water. He says, this is terrible. Water carrier, I'm broken. So the water carrier says, cracked bucket, look over the other side of your bucket, out onto the road. The cracked bucket peers over the side and looks, and along the road, sees a little bit of the gravel where they are, but a row of flowers. Okay. And the water carrier says, now look over at the whole bucket. Look on her side. He peers and he can't really see, and he says, hey, what do you see over there? And she looks over the bucket and she says, nothing, it's just dirt. And the water carrier says, I knew you had a crack. So when I first discovered it, I went out at night and I planted seeds all along the side of the road where you would always be walking back. And every Friday, when we take our break for Shabbat, I come out and I cut down those flowers and I bring them to people in the village for their Shabbat tables. The bucket says, you mean all this time you knew? The water carrier says, your crack is what's beautiful about you. Because of this crack, look at what grew. Look at what beauty came. This perfect bucket, yes, maybe brought a little more water, but nothing grew. We take all of our cracks and all of the things where we think we're letting people down and disappointing people and not living up. That's where our beauty comes through. That's where opportunity comes through. I'd like to invite my friends to come back with me for this next piece, also about how we embrace all of the parts of our world, how we bring healing and praying and a sense that our lives will flow into next generations, and everything we leave behind will be like those seeds that we have planted that someone else will water after us. Are we open? Is that what I said? Okay. Yep. All right, are you ready? I'm going to teach you the chorus first, which is the second paragraph here, because we'll come back multiple times. It goes like this. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along. Try that with me. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along. And the last line, with every voice and every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our turning. So we'll sing that paragraph again. With every voice, with every song. Try it. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along. And sing those lines again. With every voice and every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our turning. So we'll stay on this slide and we'll sing this whole song. Each time we'll add a new way that our voice and our song will bring value to the world. Let us sing this song for the turning of the world, that we may turn as one. With every voice and every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our turning. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along. With every voice and every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our turning. Now we're going to basically sing what we sang before, but this time we're going to sing our song for the healing of the world. Let us sing this song for the healing voice and every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our healing. With every voice and every song, we will move this world along. With every voice and every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our healing. Let us sing this song for the praying of our world. Let us sing this song for the praying of the world, that we may pray as one with every voice, and every song. We will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our praying. With every voice, every song, with every song, we will move this world along. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our praying, and our lives will feel the echo of our healing, and our lives will feel the echo of our turning. The praying of our world, salam shalom. And we don't just pray for peace, but we are the peacemakers who go out, whether it's from programs like this where we are together here on site or online, learning together, laughing together, lifting our hands for justice together. Ojavo shalom aleinu. It's not just an idea, but it will come. It's not here yet, we surely know that. But if we want it badly enough, it will come. Hey-oh, 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 hey-oh. This might sound a little different than you're used to. It's the same Od Yavo by Sheva, but reharmonized by our friend Dan Nichols, who would travel all over the country to camps with young people and communities and found that it had just lost a little bit of its meaning. It was just fast, and it was just another closing song or way to move on to something else. And he found the need to feel this little sense of tension and urgency. It matters. It matters what we do to build peace. It's not just a fun thing that we sing as fast as we can. So same melody, same thing we sing, it'll just maybe feel a little more agitated. Maybe it'll agitate us. Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al O Javo by Sheva, reharmonized by Dan Wicker. Yes. And now Natalie has something to offer. I think we have a slide, and once you talk about it, we have a translation for folks.
Okay. I don't know which translation you have. It's not it's a straightforward song to translate. So just the title is Kol Galgal, which can mean voice or sound, and Galgal can be wheel or circle. So I spent quite a bit of time traveling all over the place, and Israelis tended to be all the places I traveled to, and so I learned a lot of songs from them, and this was one of them. I'm wrong, sorry. Kol galgal המתגלגל ממטה למעלה מקוות סתומות הולכות ומתגלגלות כל נעימו עולה ויורד הולך ומשוטט בעולם כל שופר נמשך ביום כחמדרגות מסובב הגלגל סביב כל גלגל המתגלגל ממטה למעלה מרכבות סתומות הולכות ומתגלגלות כל נעימו עולה ויורד הולך ומשוטט בעולם כל שופר נמשך ביום כחמדרגות מסובב הגלגל סביב
It's amazing how much beautiful repertoire there is in Israel, so many melodies that we don't get to hear unless we make a real effort to find them, whether they're reimagining of new prayers or beautiful old melodies set in new ways, as this one was, or so much great contemporary Israeli music. So Natalie, hopefully you'll be bringing more of that to the community. What key I want to do this in? Let's see what lyric we have. That's a good one. If you don't know this, maybe you remember it. I remember it from Sesame Street. Maybe I don't know if that dates me or not, but maybe you heard it in other ways. The key is abati waha. Everyone say that? Abati waha. It's unclear what that means. There's lots of debate. It could be, but I'm not sure. Some say Swahili. I'm not sure that that's right. It's hard to track down, but might mean just great. It's like sababa in Hebrew, like awesomeness, loosely. But here we go. If you know it, sing along. You will by the end. We come, my sound isn't on. We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come We come from the mountain, living in the mountain. Go back to the mountain, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living on the mountain. Go back to the mountain, turn the world. I'm out of breath. Whoa, so is life a batiwa. So is life. Whoa, so is life a batiwa. Do we have Torah? I wonder. We come. This was not Harry Belafonte's lyric. A religious school teacher added this, an educator some decades ago, because if we come from the water and the world and the mountain, we come from the Torah. We come from the Torah, living in the Torah. Go back to the Torah, turn the world around. We come from the Torah, living in the Torah. Go back to the Torah, turn the world around. Whoa, so is life a batiwa. So is life. Whoa, so is life a batiwa. So is life. Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? What's the next slide? Water makes the river, river wash the mountain. Fire makes the sunlight turn the world around. Heart is of the river, body of the mountain. Spirit is the sunlight, turn the world around. We are of the Spirit, truly of the Spirit. Only can the Spirit turn the world around. We are of the Spirit, truly of the Spirit. Only can, let's sing this again, this slide. We are of the Spirit, truly of the Spirit. Only can the Spirit turn the world around. We are of the Spirit, only can the Spirit turn the world around. Oh, so is life a batiwa. So is life. Oh, so is life a batiwa. So one more time. Oh, so is life a batiwa. So is life. Oh, so is life a batiwa. So is life. Phew, I'm sweating. It's kind of fun. Phew. So we're about to head into our final song. First, I want to thank Rabbi Gorman for, as some of you heard this morning or whenever, that she and I have known each other off and on for many years, mostly through camping. Grateful to have been able to renew our friendship in this time, working the past few years and been able to be here with you. And grateful to her for working our slides so that we were able to all sing along together. And of course to Rabbi Feldman for welcoming me. And as some of you heard last night, he and I really have known each other for many decades. And happy birthday again. Mine is coming up shortly. Again, for welcoming me in this time of transition and change, to continue to want the community to feel a sense of joy and being able to come together is a real gift. And I know that Rabbi Feldman and the leadership are really committed to that. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here and celebrate with you. And to Saul and Natalie and Ben and Susan for the work we've done together this summer and this fall, and for singing and sharing your gifts and being part of our singing together. It makes me very happy. To Drew, who has been a great friend, and not just in logistics, of course, which he does beautifully in making sure my visit was smooth and easy, but of just being very warm and welcoming, and having this new connection is something that I value. So thank you so much, Drew. Mike, for making me sound good. If I could just sing, but it always takes great sound is really part of the team and part of the spirit that we create. So to Mike on sound, I appreciate you very much. To all of you for being here, for all of you who are on Zoom, for continuing to support your community, to support the work that you're doing, to lift people up, to be here for one another, to reach out. I had a beautiful experience this morning in Minyan and last night in worship. It's a real special community. You know that. I mean, I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know, but I had heard it, saw it a little online over these years, but now to be here in person to witness it has really filled me up. At the end of the program, I brought with me, we've had for years, I'm part of a group called So Is Life. Actually, that's on the album, the song we just sang, with Dan Nichols, Josh Nelson, and Cantor Ellen Dreskin. We've been singing together for about more than 15 years. We made an album years ago. You'll see in the back of it, my hair is not this color. And Dan has a lot more hair than he did when he was here a few weeks ago. And we're best of friends and we sing together. It's lovely singing. We all sing nicely, but because we care deeply about each other and the power of music together. None of us love to sing solo. We feel that lives are saved when we sing together. We believe that. And we save each other when we sing together. All of the proceeds for the CDs, they're CDs, and many don't have a way to play CDs anymore. We have download cards. Go to the Jonah Maccabee Foundation. Ellen's son died about 10 years ago when he was 19. And they set up a fund in his honor, and we were friends of his from camp, and Dan and Josh and I, of course, knew him very well. And it goes to support music, art, sending young people to camp, to arts camps, to arts programs. That was important to Jonah, as a way to nurture young people, to find ways like this to sing together and to be connected through art and music and Jewish camping. So the Jonah Maccabee Foundation supports that. If you're interested in a CD or a download card, they're $15. Or if you have no cash and you have $2, you have $5. And if you don't have and want one, please take. It just goes to the fund. And you can always take one and go online and find Jonah Maccabee Foundation and make a donation if you'd like. But when I knew Dan was here, and it might be ways to hear some more lovely music. So we're going to head into our last song. If you all want to come up, I'm going to lead into the song, but then we'll be ready. So for our final... Have I been asleep too long? Where have I gone wrong? When I awoke, I found a world in need of peace songs. Have I lost the fight? Have I forgotten my rights? When did I become the one of you are wrong and I am right? More love, more peace. I don't know how or where or when, but more please. More hope, more decency. I don't know how we get there, but more please. 'Cause this land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, this land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, this land was made for you, and it was made for me. A truth we used to know, but always need reminding. More love in this land, 'cause love's the one thing we understand. The time has come once again to raise our voice and lend a hand. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, more love, more peace. I don't know how or where or when, but more please. More hope, more decency. I don't know how we get there, but more please. This land is your land, this land is my land. squares of the city, in the shadow of a steeple, by the relief office, I've seen my people as they stood there hungry. I stood there asking, is this land made for you and me? This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, to the redwood forest, to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. One more time, this land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Shavuot. Thank you again to Saul and Natalie and to Ben, to Mike. Shavuot Tov. They're not running to own it. They don't know to stand up. There's no food. What do we do?